In this video we're making a simple wire loop with a bead in the centre and a wire loop on each side. For this simple wire loop we need 3 inches of 20 gauge dead soft silver wire, and the bead we're using is an 8mm bead. To start with, we want to measure in 1 inch from the right hand side. Just grabbing it with my pliers there on that 1 inch mark. Then I gently push that 1 inch piece of wire back to make a 45-degree bend in my wire. Now we swap to our round nose pliers and we want to grab it just above that bend there. I like to place a little mark on my pliers sort of around the middle here, and each little loop I make I'm going to place it onto the same mark so they all stay nice and even. So just grabbing it above that bend and holding it onto the mark on your pliers. Then we can bring this tail around the round nose pliers and across over the other wire. I like to rotate the loop a little bit towards me just so it sits right over the centre. From here we're just going to grab our little loop on the end there with some pliers and bring this tail around the other wire. Gently bringing it around a couple of times, nice and tight and tidy. I find about 2 loops around looks nice and tidy. Just make sure they're nice and tight and close together. Then we can cut this little tail off nice and short and crimp the end in tight so there's no sharp edges. Now you can check your little loop there, make sure it's nice and round and you're happy with how it's sitting. You want it sitting nice and straight over the other piece of wire. Now we can go ahead and pop our little 8mm bead on. Now I like to hold this little loop on the left hand side straight up and down, and then come in with our really small tipped pliers to grab that wire as close as we can to the bead, and then push that wire backwards to form another 45-degree bend. Now back with the round nose pliers, grabbing it just above that bend there and holding it onto that mark we made on our round nose pliers. We can bring this tail around the round nose pliers and back over the other wire. Rotating that loop towards us, and then holding that loop on the end and bringing this tail around the other wire. Trying to make this side nice and even with the first side of your loop as well. So I bring mine around 2 times and then cut my little tail off nice and short and crimp it in tight so there's no sharp edges. Your bead should be nice and secure in the centre there, not flopping around too much. Now you can check over your loops, make sure everything's sitting nicely and how you like it. And there's your simple wire loop with the bead only and the wire loop on each side.